Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are taking a really fascinating linguistic journey to decode a piece of Brazilian street slang that has an incredibly unexpected cross-cultural history. We're tracking how a single word traveled across continents, across decades, and entirely different mediums, just completely transforming its meaning along the way.
Okay, let's dive into this etymological mystery. Seriously, how did a 1934 American comic book character become a harsh Brazilian insult? It honestly sounds like the setup to a really strange joke, doesn't it? But it's entirely real. To figure out how we get from a vintage printed comic strip in the US all the way to modern spoken street slang in Brazil, well, we need to carefully break down the word itself.
Moving into Section 1, the meaning of X-9. Before we trace its roots, we first have to understand the heavy cultural weight of this term in modern informal conversations. When you hear this word dropped in everyday chat in Brazil, you need to know right off the bat that it is absolutely not a lighthearted joke. In Brazilian Portuguese, X9 is slang for a snitch. It's someone who tells on others, specifically in a way that shatters trust or loyalty. And the emphasis really is on that broken trust. It carries a remarkably strong negative meaning. If you are labeled an X9, you aren't just a gossip. No, you are seen as a traitor. You've committed a profound betrayal against your peers. It's an active, deliberate violation of a social code. Which brings us to Section 2, a 1934 American origin. And I am so excited to pivot to this because the twist of where this harsh street slang actually originated is just wild. You'd naturally think a term this deeply embedded in Brazilian street culture would have roots in local history, right? Well, prepare to be surprised. Originally, this came from a 1934 American comic strip titled Secret Agent X9. The main character was a secret agent, and his whole gimmick, his main strategy, was infiltrating criminal groups. And this brilliantly illustrates how, over time, as the comic reached Brazil, the name of this undercover hero morphed into a modern nickname for someone who gives people up or reveals secrets. The fictional tactics of a good guy infiltrating the mob translated into a real-world permanent label for a snitch. The hero's name literally became the ultimate insult. Let's move on to Section 3, Speak Like a Native. Now that we know the history, I'm going to give you the practical secret code to sounding like a true Brazilian native. It's a very simple two-step process to get this pronunciation down. Step 1. In Portuguese, the letter X is pronounced like the sh sound in the English word she, so you say she's. Step 2, add the word nove, which simply means 9 in Portuguese. Put it all together and you get she's nove, X9. Just like that, you're sounding like a local. Let's see this in action with a rapid-fire, real-world example to really cement your understanding. The cara foi às 9 e entregou todo mundo pra polícia. Translated to English, that means the guy was a snitch and gave everyone up to the police. This perfectly captures the high-stakes betrayal we talked about earlier. In this specific context, being an X9 means you are literally handing a group over to the authorities. It's the ultimate breach of the street code, carrying the heaviest possible consequences. But, it's not always about the police or the criminal underworld. Take a look at this lower-stakes, everyday workplace situation. Marcos falou pro chefe que a gente saiu mais cedo, que X9. Meaning, Marcos told the boss we left early. What a snitch. Even though Marcos isn't calling the cops here, he is still breaking trust with his coworkers. He's violating the solidarity of his team, and therefore he earns the dreaded title of X9. It's highly adaptable slang. And that brings us to a definitive, chilling statement. Aqui ninguém confia em X9. Around here, nobody trusts a snitch. This really hammers home the ultimate lesson of our explainer today. An X9 isn't just someone who made a minor social mistake. No, they are entirely stripped of community trust. Once you get that label attached to your name, the community effectively shuts you out. The loyalty is gone. So the crucial point is this. Learning slang like X9 helps you understand how Brazilians really speak. You can study traditional grammar books for years, literally years. But if you don't grasp these informal, culturally loaded terms, you will always remain on the outside of the conversation. Decoding these specific slang words is the absolute key to true fluency and authentic cultural connection. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Are you ready to learn Portuguese with teachers from Brazil? Language is a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving from comic strips in the 1930s to modern-day street corners.
To truly master it, you need to learn from the people who live and breathe it every single day. I hope this explainer sparked your curiosity and leaves you completely energized to dive deeper into the real, vibrant language of Brazil. Keep analyzing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.